What's up, everyone? This Core P. We got.
Really?
Wow.
You're so messy. You are messy.
Been gone for so long.
Britt from the block. We got Razzo. We got Rach. What's good, y'all?
Hey, she's been missing the action, so I forgot her name.
I missed one event and one Sunday.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We're good. How
Y'all
are
ready
you?
to work bread?
Yeah.
All right, so what we talking about today?
Self-love is the best love.
Self-love.
Self-love.
All right.
So we just had an event.
Okay.
You know, that was the one event that I missed. How did it go?
It was cool.
It was really good.
Like, what happened?
It was tailored to women. We was talking about self-love.
Right.
Building each other's self-up. Talking about God is love. You got to love yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Well, not blah, blah, blah. But, you know,
She said, well, we really tackled like real world issues, kind of like we do here, in the sense of like we talked about all the pressure points that women feel when it comes to self-love.
Like,
BBL.
Oh, I never heard that. Like,
we was talking about people getting their body done.
What's BBL stand for?
I know you lying. Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
They basically just
Get a
shift your,
small waist.
Yep.
They take fat from other areas.
They
right?
Yeah.
look
Take
like-
fat
from your stomach
and
and you're putting in your butt.
What's the measurements they say on the song? She's a brick house. What's the measurements they say?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's
Wow.
what they
Okay.
I'm not sure. You know, I've been married for, a long
Oh,
time,
okay.
so.
But you
What does that have to do
you
with
still
anything?
you still
You
live in
know
a
the
brick
song.
house.
That's all I was talking about.
Oh,
the
the song.
measurements that they were saying.
We didn't say that.
I'm
you
just saying, like, I'm away from that conversation.
Boy, don't get too deep. We wasn't talking about the particular person. We were talking about
I'm saying,
the
like,
lady,
no,
the
what I'm saying
song.
back
It's
in
a
the
song.
day. No, what I'm saying back in, well, yeah, I did go. It's different. But the point what I'm saying is, like, you know, guys used to have certain conversations back in college. You know, you talk about different things, measurements or whatever. Like, I don't even remember, you know, it's been so long.
So, anyways,
But we also talked about social media and that aspect of, you know, comparison
Doing
and
stuff for clout.
right.
Okay.
You know, stuff like that.
And we was just basically talking about the motive behind it. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
social media's not bad, getting your body done is not bad, none of that is bad, but if you're doing it because you're trying to be something that you're
Right.
not, you're trying to make yourself feel better.
So why you think why do ladies get the BBL?
Because they want to look good.
Yeah.
So,
And it's all that they see on social media now. Everybody got the same body.
okay.
Right. And the thing is like there's some people who do it just because they want to, and then there's other people who do it because they've seen somebody else do it and they want that kind of body because they feel like if I have that body,
They
I
get
have
that
that life,
attention.
I'll get
I
that
have
man.
man. Right.
So you think that women are getting BBLs to get a man?
Yes.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And money.
And to get famous. Think about it. If you can be an influencer on social media, more people are like your stories if you got a BBL than if you got.
Yeah, they want to look at you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's the world we live in.
the world we live in.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna go do it for you. Like, I know mothers who'd have had multiple C-sections, i.e. me, who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can work out, they can eat right, all that kind of stuff like that,
Yeah.
but their stomach ain't going nowhere. So to treat themselves, they'll be like, I'm gonna get my stomach done.
Yeah.
But it's some women who have not had that, well, no shade to them, but they just like, I hate my body. So, which is their choice.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they feel like that they just nothing.
I guess for me, the weird thing is about is like I still hear a lot of women complain of not being with, you know, like having a relationship with men and stuff, like issues. Or if they with a man, man is, you know, maybe still cheating. So apparently the BBL is not working.
True. We talked about that too. Though, 'cause some men don't care.
Okay.
Say it like that.
But you know, women
it's
don't
more
care.
of
Other
just
women
not
either.
right.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but
Like
that's
most
not.
men like natural hair, they like natural
Yeah.
face. So, but women, we do it because we say we love it and we like, but we do it for
You know
other
what's
women
funny?
too.
I was having a conversation with somebody, right?
Yeah.
And it was a man, and we were talking about how men really don't care if
Yeah.
a woman has a stomach, right?
Yeah.
So I did a little poll, right, with a bunch of different men that I know from different age ranges. One, I think the youngest one was maybe like 18, and the oldest was like 40, in his late 40s. Different men, different area codes, all type of stuff.
What they say?
I promise you, almost all of them said, I don't care if she has a stomach. Only one of
that is
them,
so funny.
who was like around my age, he's only one who cared.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
a
you
young
look like
person. Right? But I'm saying like 90% of men,
Yeah.
they don't care if you have a stomach. They don't
That's
care
not
if you
what
have stretch
they're,
marks.
that's not what they're paying attention to, because you have to think about like what they're like. They are visual people,
Right.
and they I mean, they can tell a fake. Like they look at, they see women everywhere, so they can see a fake.
I think men, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, this is in a safe way. We know you don't check women out and stuff like that.
Okay.
But he's like, okay, I'm covered. I think men like to look at women who look like that, but that's just because, like Rachel said, they like visual stuff, but
Right.
it's not.
They don't want to be with
They don't
somebody.
want to be with somebody who's always got the makeup on, always got the lashes, always got the nice body, always. You know what I'm saying?
I think guys. I think we like different types. I think that's the weird thing for me. I remember coming up. Okay, you had before the BBL. Or, whatever the Brazilian butt lift. You had girls that was shapely, right? Like, and then you had some girls that had like the skinny look. Then you got the thick girl. Then you had all the, and I think all the guys like different type of women.
Yeah.
Like it's different bodies that you are attracted to, and I think guys sometimes like each one. But now you seeing this particular thing, and I think, like you said, guys,
it's the same body.
Yeah, it's the same body, or the same makeup, or me personally, I mean, I value, I don't think nothing wrong with wearing makeup, but it is getting to a place where it's like it's kind of looking like a little draggish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think
to me, I think some of the guys kind of look at it, and they are turned. You like that, and then you look at, well, why I'm by myself? No man. Well, back in the day, the weird thing, back in the day, when you was in a relationship, you wanted to be attracted. You wanted the opposite sex to be attracted to you. So you did certain things. So, if a girl if I heard Vaughn say, oh, I like this, well, I try to do it. Now it seems like it's the opposite. I think we got so caught up in, they got to love you for who you are. Type of thing. It's like, well, do you even know who you are?
Right. Well, and I think too, like, I can speak for women, but like if you're a single woman and a man approaches you and compliments you, we're so quick to be like, either first of all, get out of my face, or like we automatically think of what's wrong with us. Like they came up to you and they complimented you. They like you for what you are right now. Like they're not like, they didn't come up to you and say, oh my gosh, you're so cute. But I mean, if you lost a few pounds, that would be nice. No one has ever like said
What's
that.
so funny about that? I just texted Rachel. What was that, last week when it's the car wash?
Oh, yeah.
Because I pulled up at the car wash, and that was the one day, this was like last week sometime, Monday. That was the one time I just went busted. Like, I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna do I looked busted. I didn't feel my eyebrows. I didn't do nothing. I just washed my face and went. And this man was heavily trying to talk to me. And I told Rachel, I was like in the car wash, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to find an eyeliner or something because I'm looking busted. But then I realized like and then he even waited for me to get out of the car wash to still try to flirt and try to talk to me. And I realized like, he's trying to talk to me and I'm looking busted.
And then here you are about to break your neck.
Tore up my whole car looking for some eyeliner.
Time, like, I mean, we don't mind. Like, I can talk like that. I look at a picture we were seeing. I was like, babe, that's like a different woman. I said, she look better with all that off. Like, she looks better. And she's like, I think sometimes we gotta, some say, I praise you for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I think that, and then the next part says, wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. I think we got to get to the place that we just value ourselves. We so, looking at what the world think, how we look and what we should do, but we should love ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think the moment you start loving yourself, it's certain things you might not even do anymore. Now I'm sure you might still do, still do your eyebrows. I like it,
I don't think there's anything wrong with
it. But I'm saying,
but if you don't do it, you won't be tripping.
That's it. Because now you don't have peace. You worried, my eyebrows are not on, this and that. Like, come on, man.
I ain't got no eyebrows on right now.
I mean, sometimes I think it's a balance though. Like, I don't let's just keep using this example from the car wash.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily want to put makeup on so that way I get his attention. It was, I want to be presentable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a balance. I think it's okay to wear makeup.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to.
Definitely.
But if you're wearing
as
an enhancement.
Yeah.
Did you just say some people need it?
Yeah, some people need makeup. Like, it's certain,
You just completely defeated the purpose that you just said.
You being rude, like saying somebody need makeup. You saying that people depend on makeup. They think that they can't.
I thought you meant like somebody was ugly. Baby.
Oh no!
I was like, did you just not quote
You
songs?
was like, some people need it.
No, I mean like from an enhancement standpoint, like
it's okay to
for
enhance.
them.
But they I do know some people they cannot leave if they don't have a full face of makeup on.
That's ridiculous.
They can't take a picture without a filter. filter or nothing like that. Like, bro, show us
there's a
your
difference.
face.
I'm telling you, look.
Filters make you look like a
Man.
different person
They do.
sometimes.
What?
They do.
So, look.
Corey
I'm
got
on
catfish.
Catfish.
I'm on Facebook, right? And so, people send, people send me messages for different ministry or whatever, work or something. So I'm looking, and so I try to always click on the people picture because they'll talk to me outside if I see them at the store or something. Man, this girl clicked on, she was like, yeah, we Facebook friends, and I sent you. I said, no. Then she said the name, I went back and looked. That don't look nothing. I'm like, oh my God.
Catfish Kingdom Edition.
If I was a single man and having a conversation, I would be so like,
You lied to me.
Yeah.
like you show up and I'm like, oh yeah, this is my picture, and then you show up at the for a date
And it's not you.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when somebody has a filter on though.
Yeah.
And like if it's Instagram, it'll say what filter they're using.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I use filters on Instagram
Love a good
because
filter.
most for fun, but
Yeah.
also like you don't want to, like, you'll be distracted by the pimples on my face sometimes, so I'm just gonna smooth them out. But I think that's like, that doesn't make me feel better as a person though.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
know, like, y'all see me right now, I ain't got no makeup on or nothing, and that doesn't bother me. But at the same time, like, would I come to church Sunday like this? No, because I feel like I
You wanna be presentable.
I want to be presentable.
Yeah.
But it's always about an enhancement. It's
Yeah.
not about
But
a cover up or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but I think you got to get to that place where you value you. Like me, I struggled early. My dad struggled with acne, and so for me, I struggled with acne as a kid, and so it created scars. So it was moments in my life that, I didn't want to go nowhere. Like, and the weird thing about it is, like, this the crazy. Then I start really want to have more girlfriends because to me it made me feel good. Like if I got
got the
5
women.
girls,
Right.
Like I got acne, but I got these
these
girls.
girls. You know what I'm saying? And so now you see, I understand the woman perspective from getting the the BBL, if that would make because at a certain point that's what made me feel good. I didn't go enhance my. It wasn't nothing. I wasn't desperate. to no
There's
makeup
men that
on.
get BBLs too.
Well, yeah, I heard of Blanca show me a picture of this guy walking on me. I said, "Oh my God, what made him decide to do that?"
It's
But-
money.
I'm
They
just-
just
I'm
do what
just-
they
Yeah,
want.
but I
You're
think
funny.
but I had to get to a place in my life because that was a struggle for me. For many years, man, I struggled with that. Like, I really just felt horrible. Like it was bad. Like I almost flunked out of school one time.
Golly.
Yeah, because I didn't want. It was
Get
so
some proactive or something.
Nah, it was
Jesus.
it was more than like I did all those things, but I realized too it was from a spiritual component. A curse. Like my dad struggled, and I didn't know that. So when you see him, then you can kind of see like he struggled, from scars or whatever. But I didn't know he went through this at the same time I was going through it when I was in high school. So it's like I didn't know all these different things. And so it's other stuff dealing with your body and stuff that goes because I studied all that type of stuff. But I think that if you don't have that knowledge, I feel horrible. You know what I mean? And I ain't want to go out. Never had issues with females. Never had that. But still, it was hard for me. So I understand the woman perspective. I had to get to a place where that scripture right there, like, look, this is, I got scars on my
Acne
face.
and all. This
And
is
this is who I am. And guess
Right.
what? I feel
Still
like
fearfully and wonderfully
I'm
made.
still handsome. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm gonna keep moving on. And
So let me ask you a question. So, we've talked not only at the event but even just now about makeup, BBLs, all that type of stuff. And you just mentioned acne, but for a man, what are some other type of stuff like that y'all deal with that kind of goes in this whole self-love category that we're talking about?
I think I don't know. That's weird. I think women definitely deal with it more than men. Because
Nah, men
What
kill.
about like body?
no,
do you
that's because
feel
body don't like. I remember. All right, so when I was growing up, it was me and I had a cousin, and he was like a bigger dude. And then when I say bigger, he wasn't muscular bigger. He was like chunky.
titties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
gosh.
So me and him, like at that time, most girls, I was pretty. Like I said, I never had girl issues, so I was kind of using like the popular, whatever. So me and him went on a trip, and this particular, pretty girl. And I really wanted to talk to her, but man, she was going after my cousin. And I ain't never, me and him never like been on a trip like that. I'm like, this a big dude. He like shit.
Some girls like big dudes.
That,
Hold on
and
now.
so, but I'm saying I was like in middle school at the time, and so then that's when I realized, I'm like, man, it was this another big dude, and had all the girls, and then I realized like girls don't look at it like how you know, how guys feel like if you're a big dude, you got a belly, like, okay, I'm gonna make it work. Like, I never struggle with my body issue. Like, if I'm wearing something, you know, when I start getting a little bigger, it's time. But at that time, it still wasn't like a struggle with me. The only thing I struggled with was acne. Now, I can't speak for other men, but I never heard another man talk about their body. I mean, or share something like, oh man, I feel, you know, my stomach is going over my penis. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe not like that. Maybe I've heard men.
They wouldn't say it to another.
Maybe
Like,
they won't say it to another man, but you know, I've had men in my past talk about, you know, they want to bulk up or they want their arms bigger, their
muscular,
back more toner.
But first of all, I don't want to.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a struggle.
Some people do though.
But there are, because I know of a man in particular who has struggled with like image.
Yeah.
Image
but
stuff.
I think it's more for women though.
Oh,
like,
well, we're not saying that it's equal. We're just saying that they do. Like, men do struggle with self-love.
Yeah, I do now. All right, now since you're saying that, I do know there's some men that kind of care more about how they look, especially they were bigger. You know what I'm saying? As kids, and then the older they got, I'm sure that was a struggle for them. But I don't think it's. I guess it's personality. Guys, if you really just charismatic, you cool. It really don't matter how you look. You know what I mean? You can get you a girl. And I think that's guys at that moment. I do. I mean, I see some shit. You know what I mean? And you look, you be like, oh man, how you get her? You know what I'm saying? Type of vibe. But personality, just, you know, cool, make you laugh. I think it's just different things. I think guys just don't, I don't know. I think it's a little different.
And well, of course, like, I think that women and men struggle with different things when it comes to self-love. And I think that the underlying thing is that we need to make sure that, yes, we love ourselves, but we don't become so self-centered that we can't show love to other people.
That's it.
Because we can get so wrapped up in ourselves and I love myself and taking time for myself and be so inward focused that we don't do anything with the love that we have for ourselves.
Yeah. I think it's hard to love somebody else when you don't love yourself, though. You know what I mean? The scripture Mark tell us you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But Lord, if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? That's scripture. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing. That's why it's so important to even to start dealing with those things early.
Well, we think about it. The proverb that says guard your heart because from it flows the wellsprings of life. And like, so if you're not good in here, whatever's inside is going to come out.
Yeah.
And so if you're rotten, nasty, bitter, angry on the inside, then that's what's going to come out. So self-love is really an inward thing. It's not about the BBLs. It's not about the makeup. It's not about the working out. It comes from the inside and then stems outward. Because I know for me personally, like, from my, journey through health and fitness and stuff like that, it wasn't until that I released all those inward things that were keeping me back and that I finally started seeing results on the outside because the inside had to change first. And I was holding on to stress and bitterness and anger and stuff. And my body was physically holding on to that. And so it was holding on to everything else that's, the fat and whatever, not building muscle and all that kind of stuff. So it really does affect you physically whenever you have that, internal struggle with all those things.
That's so true. Because, like, for me, the moment that, like, I used to have super bad, like, breakouts. But it was because I was stressed over it. But the moment when I smell, I don't even care no more. Like, I'm going out here, like, I ain't finna cancel my event because I got this gigantic bump on my, nose or whatever. But at that point, when I got to a place and said, man, it is what it is, I'm finna live my life and enjoy it, I wasn't having those breakouts like that. And so I think that that's so important that you got to deal with the inner because in the end, you're going to make the situation worse. So.
Yeah, I'm, just to piggyback off what you guys are saying, I am being challenged with PCOS. In short, it's a hormonal disorder.
Okay.
So hormones out of whack, right? And there's tons of symptoms and side effects and a bunch of stuff. But just like Rachel said, I mean, there's physical stuff I have to do, but there was also spiritual stuff I had to do because what's funny if you think about it, so, I'm holding on to anger, unforgiveness, bitterness, which releases more stress hormones because you're stressed, and then those stress hormones affect the other hormones that are already out of whack. Like, you think, some people don't think that okay, because I didn't forgive this person or that person, that has nothing to do with my body. Actually, it does.
Yeah.
Because your spirit and your body, you know, is very much so connected.
Yeah.
And what is reflected on the outside is typically, like Rachel said, what's happening on the inside.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if somebody is really unhealthy, if you, the listener, is, you know you're unhealthy, it might be good to take a look on the inside and see, do some self-reflecting.
Because, you know, they say that, you know, bitterness can really kill somebody. And
Right.
it can. Because you can, has someone ever hurt your feelings so bad that you literally felt your heart, like, aching?
Yeah.
Like, that is your emotions connected to your body. Like, your body carries a lot more than you think.
Right.
You
Yeah.
go get a massage and they're like, oh, you're stressed out. Yeah, you have knots
how
in
do you
your
know
body. Because you are stressed out mentally or whatever, emotionally, whatever. So it's all connected. So if you don't deal with one, the other is not going to move very far.
Right. And then, you know, that's a spiritual aspect. From a natural aspect,
Right.
you know, there's other things that you can do. Like, instead of, okay, let's just say I have a bunch of dark marks, you know, like
Right.
you said, from acne.
Yeah.
Well, why am I getting acne in the first place?
Right.
You know, is there foods that I'm eating or things that I'm
Yeah.
allergic to, or products that I'm using that are full of toxins that are causing this acne, which
Right.
are causing, you know, you have to find the root of everything.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
when you have symptoms like that, like acne, weight gain, whatever, that's your body giving you a signal like, hey, something's not right.
Right,
And
yeah.
so it's not necessarily like, oh, I have all these symptoms, my body, I'm trying to fight against my body.
Right.
No, you and your body are in partnership, and
Right.
your body is trying to tell you, hey, your ankle's inflamed because there's a problem here.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you have acne on your back because there's an issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think that, you know, like we discussed plethora of times throughout this conversation, like, makeup's not bad, BBLs aren't bad,
Right.
all this stuff's not bad, but get to the root of the issue.
That's it.
Right, because, like, okay, so I'll use Brittany for example of her being challenged with PCOS. If she just decided that, you know, I've gained a little weight, so I'm going to go get a BBL, she would
Thought
have
about
never, but she would have never gotten to the root issue of being able to deal with her hormones, because she can, through Christ and through other things, reverse that diagnosis.
Facts.
But had she just gone and gotten surgery and got her body to look like she wanted it to, she would still be being challenged with that and not even dealing with it. She would just have to live with it.
And
You
she
know,
just look good.
I've thought about it plethora of times.
Of course.
Not a BBL. I don't need a BBL. But, you know, I thought about a tummy tuck because
Yeah.
it'll be easier to just get rid of the fat. But
Yeah.
like you said, there's underlying roots, so it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what actually happens in this journey that I'm on, because eventually I ain't gonna look like this. It'll be fixed eventually. But what Corey?
I'm just saying, you said I'm not gonna look like this. What's wrong with how you look?
Oh, that was sweet of you.
That was that was like the nicest thing you've said in a long time.
Really? Hey. I just think, you know,
She wasn't done.
Oh, my bad.
Well, what I was going to say is the journey that I'm on, where I'm actually learning about my body, learning about my hormones, and trying to, you know, fix the root, that is building more things in me that, like, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that I could never get with surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Because even, you know, I just think you got to get to the place, of course. I mean, if you want to, you know, get better in shape and all that, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to love yourself for where you at. You know what I mean? I think that's where it starts first. Then you can move on doing those other things. Because like you said, if you go fix all that, it's still an inner thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But I want to ask y'all this question before we leave. All the challenges, you know, dealing with self-love that we all, I think everybody probably had a moment of challenges with self-love, loving ourselves. Did it start at adulthood or childhood for you? Like,
Probably
for me, it started
childhood,
at childhood.
It, like, issues with self-love?
Yeah.
Childhood, yeah.
Yeah. And then it just grew and went to different levels.
The reason why I asked that, because I think a lot of times we look at these issues as adult issues, but now imagine what our younger this generation is dealing with.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have social media
Oh, thank
at
goodness.
that level
Right.
that it is right now. Or it's so, I mean, kids are in elementary school, you know, that can get on these TikToks
Yeah.
and social media,
Yeah.
and they seeing all this. So I want y'all, you know, if any parents out there or anybody who have, you know, nephews, nieces, cousins, or whatever, man, have these conversations with our young people, because if we're dealing with this and facing with these
Right.
challenges as adults, imagine how they're feeling.
Well, and I would say, too, be careful how you speak around children
Yeah.
and to them, because I know, like, they listen to what we're saying.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if I'm in the standing out there and there's a bunch of kids around, maybe I go to Kid Nation or something and talk to Brittany and I'm like, oh, I just feel so fat today. All the little girls in there look at me and they may think she looks fine, but if she thinks she's fat, then what am I?
Yeah.
And that that will continue to just instill in them, like, you don't talk to yourself that way or whatever. And then if they come up to you and kids like, oh, you look so handsome today, or like, you are so smart, you are so caring, build them up in the way that you would have wanted to be built up as a kid.
And build yourself up.
Build yourself up. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
think
point.
we got to change our language.
Yeah.
That's good.
Change how we're, of course, confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking the word over yourself. If you don't, I feel like if you don't like the way that you look, you can't bring yourself to say those words. Then just start saying scriptures.
Yeah.
Because eventually that'll change your language.
Yeah.
How
That's
you
it.
view
And
yourself.
you
Say it
can't
until
get
you
caught
believe
up
it.
with what people say it was handsome and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's
It's relative.
Yeah,
It is relative.
It is.
And
So,
you're so much more than that too.
yeah. That's
Like,
it.
you're talented
Yeah.
and you're caring and you're kind and you're smart.
Yeah, looks
Yeah.
are just a small
Yeah,
portion.
right.
Because there's some fine people
that
but
are
they
just
so there's just nothing
immature
to
and they're mean
They have
and
no
they're
substance.
rude,
Yeah.
shallow.
them. So looks are not everything, but
Well, I enjoy this conversation, man. I kind of learned. I never
What'd you
knew
learn?
What, BBL.
Roz had to explain that on Friday too.
I did. Somebody else didn't know.
She was like, what's a BBL? I was like, oh, I didn't know. Everybody didn't know what that was.
right.
Yeah, I'm not really, into that stuff. So.
Well, good.
glad you weren't considering getting a BBL. Because
All right, guys. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode of Self Love, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
see you later.
Bye.
This is Breaking Bread.
Obviously, they knew that this was breaking bread.
This is Breaking Bread.
This is Channel 5 News.
News.